1943 marked a turning point when Japan's most guarded military messages were exposed, like daily news. Every combat strategy, every unit shift, every key choice, all laid bare. The United States had deciphered the supposedly unbreakable Purple Code, and once Japan's top leaders uncovered this fact, their response proved utterly terrifying. What they voiced in those sealed chambers exposed the precise instant they realized defeat was inevitable. 3 discussions, 3 disclosures, and one crushing insight that altered all. The Flawless Trap. April 18, 1943. Admiral Yamamoto stood as Japan's sharpest war strategist. He orchestrated the Pearl Harbor strike. He claimed victories throughout the Pacific. And now he prepared for a standard review trip. His team broadcast the itinerary details via their safest encryption. Purple seemed impenetrable. That was the common belief. The dispatch left at 6 a.m. Tokyo time. By 7 a.m, United States code experts in Hawaii had absorbed each detail. They grasped Yamamoto's precise path. They noted his takeoff schedule. They identified his guard aircraft. 16 United States P-38 fighters launched from Guadalcanal. They soared 400 miles across vast seas. They reached the exact spot. At the very instant, Yamamoto's craft emerged as planned. The fighters unleashed rounds. Japan's premier admiral perished in the wilderness. But Tokyo's circles grasped nothing yet. This went beyond fortune. This signaled something vastly more alarming. For how many months had the United States been accessing their hidden plans? The baffling trend. 3 weeks on, a junior spy analyst in Tokyo spotted an odd detail. Lieutenant Tanaka examined combat summaries. He detected a worrisome sequence. United States units always positioned ideally. They learned of cargo fleets before vessels departed harbors. They caught submarines in remote depths. They evaded Japanese snares flawlessly. Once counts as chance, 5 times raises doubt, 20 times defies logic. Tanaka drafted a summary. He proposed the inconceivable. Perhaps, just perhaps, the United States accessed their encryptions. His ranking officer mocked him. "Purple remains unbreakable," the colonel declared. "It employs a device with billions of variants." Tanaka's summary landed in a drawer. No one examined it. No one minded. Meanwhile, Admiral Koga assumed Yamamoto's role. He swiftly outlined a large push in the Solomon Islands. He transmitted the combat outlines using Purple Code. 3 days later, United States units awaited in ideal guard stances. How many Japanese fighters marched toward doom? The alert from Germany. June 1943. An encrypted note reached from Berlin. German spies had unearthed something disturbing. Their own Enigma encryption faced breach. British experts accessed all. The Germans held evidence, numerical evidence. They issued a pressing alert to their Japanese partners. "Inspect your encryptions at once," the note warned. "The foe might access your exchanges." Japan's top command convened a crisis session. Admiral Koga led from the table's front. General Sugiyama from the ground forces joined. So did the spy directors. They assessed the German alert. Then they assessed their own encryptions. The purple device shone brilliantly. Their finest builders crafted it. It had never faltered prior. The session spanned 4 hours. Their verdict? The Germans overreact. "Our encryptions differ from Enigma," they resolved. Purple employs an entirely distinct method. They stored the German alert. They altered 0. The following week, another Japanese fleet faced assault. All 12 cargo vessels sank. What might at last convince them of the facts? Operation Vengeance Proof. By August 1943, additional leaders raised concerns. How did the United States pinpoint Yamamoto's spot? The trip outline reached only 6 trusted heads. Each underwent scrutiny. No traitors surfaced. No breaches appeared. Yet the concerns persisted. A veteran code specialist named Captain Itto performed his own review. He studied 30 recent clashes. In 28, United States units held flawless knowledge. They understood Japanese power. They grasped timing. They knew sights. The figures clarified. This exceeded chance or hunch. This meant exact data. Itto composed a restricted summary. He computed the odds, the likelihood of random occurrence, below 1 in 10 million. He shared his results with naval spies. They absorbed his summary. They viewed his figures. They examined the proof. And then they issued a choice that doomed thousands. They opted to trust Purple's unbreakability over all. Why did they reject the clear reality, the arrogance preceding defeat? Grasping why demands grasping Japanese war traditions. The purple device symbolized countrywide honor. Japan's codemakers ranked as the globe's finest. Confessing the encryption's flaw meant confessing shortfall. It meant confessing foes outsmarted them. For top command, this proved unimaginable. Another issue loomed, a larger one. If Purple faced compromise, every major choice over 2 years stood revealed. Every combat outline, every tactic, every hidden detail, the United States knew all. This implied the conflict state worsened far beyond grasp. Embracing this fact meant embracing possible loss for Japan. The mental burden overwhelmed. So they persuaded themselves of impossibility. United States tools fall short, they assured one another. They cannot decipher our encryptions. They crafted reasons for each trap. Traitors, detection gear, fortunate estimates. Anything except reality. Meanwhile, United States code experts accessed dispatches instantly, at times quicker than Japan's own receivers. The uneven knowledge battle pressed on. How far could rejection stretch against growing proof? The pivotal clash. November 1943. Japan outlined Operation Roe, a huge carrier assault on United States units. Admiral Koga crafted the effort himself. He dispatched thorough commands to his ships. The strike would emerge from various paths. It would catch them off guard. Success seemed assured. The commands departed via Purple Code. On November 5th, United States Admiral Halsey absorbed those identical commands on November 6th. He shifted his whole fleet. He placed carriers in blocking spots. He stationed submarines on Japanese advance paths. He readied fighters for the strike's precise schedule. When Japanese aircraft reached, they met a barrage of sky defenses. United States fighters circled aloft in wait. The Japanese forfeited 121 planes in 2 days. The United States forfeited merely 11 aircraft. Operation Roe ended in utter failure. Back in Tokyo, Admiral Koga felt crushed. He fathomed not how the United States learned. But now, at last, certain leaders prepared to utter the banned fact. What did they express in private? The initial confession. December 1943. A concealed gathering convened. Solely the topmost ranking leaders joined. No pen notes existed. What passed in that chamber remained there. But decades on, one attendee's journal disclosed pieces. Captain Itto shared his proof once more. This round, folks heeded. "Colleagues, we must confront facts," he declared. Silence filled the space. Admirals and generals stirred uneasily. Itto pressed on. "The odds of chance alone defy math. The United States accesses our encryptions." One admiral rose, Vice Admiral Fukudome, his expression flushed with fury, not at Itto, at the plight. "If true," he voiced deliberately, "then we battled sightless for 2 years." The statement lingered. Another leader chimed in. "What steps now?" This formed the vital query. If they confessed Purple's flaw, they must inform the Emperor. They must clarify the cause. They must shoulder blame. The gathering closed without resolution, merely astonishment and rising dread. Would they at last update their encryptions? The administrative horror? Here the tale turns truly astounding. Even post-confession, Japan fixed not swiftly. The Purple device spanned the full armed forces. Updating encryptions required crafting fresh devices, teaching fresh handlers, spreading all to countless sites, vessels at sea, isles over the Pacific, outposts globally. The coordination daunted. Plus, a grimmer issue surfaced. If they abruptly updated all, the United States would detect the awareness. Ongoing efforts would stand bare. They settled on a middle path. They would cut Purple use step by step. They would craft a fresh encryption setup gradually. They would blend other coding ways. In essence, they would persist with the flawed setup during shift. This choice proved ruinous. It allowed United States code experts to keep accessing Japanese hidden details for months as Japan transitioned slowly. Meanwhile, General MacArthur plotted his Philippines comeback. Every Japanese guard spot was identified. Every unit count was noted. Every provision path was charted. All courtesy of purple captures. What did Japanese leaders voice amid the assault? The Philippines calamity. October 1944. United States units hit the Philippines. Japanese leaders reeled from United States accuracy. Every barrier met counter. Every backup faced block. Every retreat path sealed. It resembled the United States holding a chart of Japanese plans because they did. They accessed each command instantly. Admiral Toyoda dispatched frantic notes to his ships. United States accessed them prior to his own vessels. He commanded submarines to blocking spots. United States warships awaited already. He summoned sky aid. United States fighters trapped them at the rally site. After 2 weeks of ruin, Toyoda dispatched a note to Tokyo. This note avoided purple encryption. It arrived via personal carrier. "The foe grasps our each action," he penned. "We battle not United States forces. We battle spirits who sense thoughts." For the initial instance, a battlefield leader declared the fact plainly. The United States excelled not merely, they lacked not mere fortune. They held total knowledge edge. The note hit Tokyo on November 1st. How did top command respond at last? The shattering discussion. November 1944. Emperor Hirohito sought explanations. Why the severe defeats? Admiral Toyoda journeyed to Tokyo. He conferred with the Supreme War Council. This round he restrained not. "Your Majesty, we battle with outlines revealed." Silence gripped the chamber. Toyoda clarified all. The baffling traps, the flawless United States schedule, the blocked fleets. Either thousands of traitors exist or they access our encryptions. General Umezu cut in, "That defies possibility. Purple breaks not." Toyoda's reply stung. "Then clarify how they grasped Admiral Yamamoto's trip route. Clarify Operation Rose Trap. Clarify the Philippines." No one could. The Emperor inquired. "What do you imply, Admiral?" Toyoda inhaled. "I hold that the United States has accessed our most guarded exchanges for at least 2 years, likely more." The terms emerged aloud before the Emperor at last. No further rejection, no further reasons. The fact lay exposed. What followed this crushing confession? Too scant, too delayed. January 1945. Japan ceased purple code use at last. 2.5 years overdue. They spread fresh encryption setups. But by then defeat loomed. United States units neared the native isles. The Philippines fell back. Iwo Jima dropped in March. Okinawa in June. Purple's harm proved permanent. How many clashes fell due to it? Exact counts elude. But scholars gauge it cut the Pacific conflict by at least 1 year. Japanese fighters entered snares. Hundreds of vessels sank offshore. Dozens of planes met traps, all from real-time secret access. Japan's top command confessed this in private papers at last. "The Purple Breach," one summary noted, "stands as our armed past's largest spy shortfall." But these terms arrived overdue. The nuclear strikes loomed 2 months off. The conflict closed. And the figures who denied facts so long admitted no public error. What did they voice privately post-yield? The ultimate confession. September 1945. Post-Japan's yield, United States spy officers questioned Japanese leaders. They sought when Japan learned of Purple's breach. Admiral Toyoda delivered a startling reply. He stated, "We doubted it mid-1943. We verified it by late 1943. But we acted not fully on this insight until early 1945. The United States officer stood amazed. "You knew over a year and persisted with it." Toyoda inclined his head gradually. "Altering our full exchange setup amid conflict seemed too hard, too upsetting. We